Absolute garbage. The most corrupt, horrible people. These are horrible people. These are sick people. We're up against very bad, evil people. It's an evil force. And the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country. It's the people that surround her. They're scum. All the scum that we have to deal with that hate our country. And you can't be president if you hate the American people. And there's a lot of hatred.
I'm out of words. That edition of Pot Meet Kettle brought to you by the candidate who has framed the final days of his campaign for president around the idea that there's an enemy within in this country and he'll use the military to get them. Of course, latching on to a since clarified comment about garbage made by someone who's not running for president anymore was a grasping at straws defensive response on Trump's part, an effort to distract from the Trump campaign's own unforced error about Puerto Rico. The Kamala Harris campaign wants to make sure voters don't forget it in the form of a brand new six-figure ad buy in Spanish, Somos Más, We Are More, will air across the battleground states in the coming days. To quote the ad, this November 5th, Trump will understand some people's trash is others' treasure. Joining me here at the table, actor and activist, my dear friend Rosie Perez. She's heading to Pennsylvania to campaign for Vice President Harris after she leaves us. And Victor Martinez is here, radio host and owner of La Mega, the radio station in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm going to get you two together because you're going to be in the same place, but we'll trade digits afterward. Rosie, let me start with you to your reaction to. I feel like we end up on the phone together when we think nothing else can shock us or break our hearts, and then you hear something like that that shocks us and breaks our hearts. What did you think when you heard that?
Shock, utter shock. I was angry. I was hurt. That's what people don't really talk about, how racism hurts, how insults like that really, really hurts. But I have to tell you, they picked on the wrong people.
Right? So what's happening? I mean, because I live in this sort of ecosystem where all I hear is it's really hard to break through. This cut through like a hot knife through frozen butter.
It did. And here's the thing that people keep forgetting about what happened on that night. It wasn't just insults thrown at Latinos and Puerto Ricans specifically. It was also African Americans. It was Jews. It was Palestinians. And it was women.
Yeah.
The way they were talking about women was disgusting. But what was the biggest backlash from? Puerto Rican people, Latinos. We don't take it. We don't take it lying down, and everyone's going to see.
So what do you think is going to happen?
I think people are going to go to the polls. There's a lot of people that are on the phone. You know what's sad is that when it did happen, there were certain people in my circles that are Republicans and certain people who are MAGAs, right? And that's a distinction, right? Radio silence from the MAGAs for days. These are Puerto Ricans. They had no response. There was no defense. And the other ones, the Republicans that are Puerto Ricans, that are family members of mine, that are friends of mine, they were thoroughly disgusted. They were just as disgusted as I was. And I found that to be very, very hopeful.
Because I think it's instructive for other groups that it feels like he's maligned women. I mean, he started in 2016 bragging about grabbing women between the legs and then doubled down in a deposition and said, you've been able to do that for 1 million years. But it feels like there's a numbness. Why aren't Puerto Ricans numb?
Because we have that spirit and we have that pride. You could knock us down 100 times and we will get back tenfold. We will get back up each and every time. You know, the thing that was shocking to me was how Trump didn't get ahead of this. He could have had a John McCain moment. But then again, he's no John McCain, right?
Right.
Remember when that person was in the audience and was throwing disparaging comments to Obama, about Obama? And John McCain went over to that woman and took the mic and said, no, he's a good man. We think differently, but he's a good man.
Loves this country.
He loves his country. Mm-hmm. That could have been Trump. That could have been Trump, and he would have just but it's not in him. And that's the point. That's the point. We are looking at character here. And how are we going to vote for someone like that, who talks about us like that, who allows negative comments to just go on like that? He has yet to apologize. Mm-hmm. He keeps saying, I didn't think it was a big deal. Mm-hmm. You know, and then trying to jump on Joe Biden's mistake, and it was a mistake. At least Joe Biden got in front of it. You know?
And Harris's distanced herself from it.
Yeah, and exactly. But, you know, all the times he's called people that don't agree with him scum, garbage, degenerates. The list can go on and on and on. The nerve that he has right now. And he's only doing it because he's desperate, because he knows he messed up.
Victor, what are you hearing from your callers? You've been so great about giving us real-time inputs.
Well, I'm going to pick up where Rosie was telling you about Austin being proud. I know you want to talk to me because I'm from Pennsylvania, but I'm here to give you a little bit of news. The reason why I'm talking to you from inside of a car right now, it's because I'm in Orlando, Florida. You know why I'm in Orlando, Florida? I'm in Orlando, Florida, where 500,000 Puerto Ricans live because the Puerto Rican community and the Puerto Rican leaders in the community are making a move. They're trying to unify the Puerto Rican community, the 500,000 Puerto Ricans in the Central Florida area and the 1+ million Puerto Ricans in Florida, to try to get them together, energize them, and get them out to vote in Florida on November 5th.
I mean, this is so instructive in terms of the mental shift you need to win elections. I mean, just give me more of where that comes from, and this idea that we have the power. I feel like some of what Trump benefits from over and over again is the disempowerment. That group, well, he's just going to do what he's going to do. His base isn't going to care. It feels like what you're both saying is that even people that thought they were aligned with him are reconsidering, and not just reconsidering, but trying to change the outcome of the result, even in Florida?
Well, you have to look at the history of Puerto Rico. Oh, I'm sorry, Victor.
Victor,
no, I was. It's funny because I know what you're going to say, and I was going to say the same thing. If you look at the history of Puerto Rico, Puerto Ricans have gone through so much adversity through our history that it's in us. It's in our blood. Like Rosie say, we get knocked down, but we get up again. And again, I've said it in other interviews. There's two things that you don't mess with when it comes to Puerto Ricans, and that's the island and the flag. Those things are sacred to us. We don't mess around. You can play with us. You can make fun of us. You can make fun of our accent. We'll have fun with you. But going after our island, going after our flag, it's like going after our mother. You know, those are things you don't mess with. You just don't mess with those things. And when we spoke the other day, I mentioned this to you. He brought everything from what happened with Maria back. Yeah. Right. That wound was healing. We were mad at him when it happened years ago, but then all of a sudden that wound got scratched and now it's bleeding again. And so this time around, so close to the election, Puerto Ricans are just getting up. I mean, we were talking about what my audience is saying in Pennsylvania, and exactly what Rosie was saying. What's getting people madder and madder by the hours is the fact that now Trump has had multiple times to get in front of a camera and say, listen, my campaign doesn't agree with those things. That's not what I believe. But over and over and over again, I mean, while sitting in a garbage truck, they ask him the question about Puerto Rico. And listen, I don't know. I don't know the comedian. Not a big deal. And so that just makes people even madder. Like, okay, so day 1, day 2, day 3, it's not a big deal. It was a love fest. I was proud to be part of the event. So that just keeps robbing the wound, and then the blood keeps coming out, and our hearts get even darker. And so again, look where I'm at. I'm in Orlando, Florida, because they're trying to rally the Puerto Rican community in Orlando, Florida. Again, 500,000 Puerto Ricans just in the Central Florida area, to see if they can mobilize them and get them out to vote.